Welcome, guys, to the start of a new Let's Play. It's the final collection coming out for modern consoles of the Ace Attorney series. Brings with it a game that was never localized officially in the West. The one game that we have not played in the timeline at all. And that, of course, is the second Ace Attorney Investigations game, Prosecutors Gambit. So with Miles Edgeworth ready to be at the helm once again, we are looking forward to playing this over YouTube episodes in a normal Let's Play format that you've come to know and enjoy. If you want to check out the other Ace Attorney games, they are all there on my channel, all done beforehand, but now, let's let a new story unfold. Or let's let a story continue, in effect, as we click New Game, choose to go with the new HD art style, HD chibi character sprites, and let the story unfold. Turnabout Trigger begins. Here he comes! The presidential plane descends from the western skies, bringing a message of peace. He's making his final approach and lands right on Gourd Lake. Presidential seaplane. Just listen to that crowd. Welcome, Zheng Fa. Welcome, Mr. President. And now, sir, your audience awaits. Honored friends and allies, I am here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation are no more, thanks to the Prosecutor's Office of your great country. You have our most heartfelt gratitude. However, friends, do not forget, the battle against evil rages on. Here today, I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice. Ah! Call the prosecutor's office. Get Miles Edgeworth here right away. If anyone can solve this, he can! So we start on March 25th at 2:46 p.m. at Gourd Lake. Spectator area where all these people, the press, etc. haven't even been cleared out off the scene. I guess you want to keep them around, because one of them might be the gunman and all that. The news must be halfway around the world already. After all, it's not every day an attempt is made on the life of a nation's president. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor. I came as soon as I got the call. The moment the phone rang, I knew it was serious. Mr. Edgeworth! Thank goodness you're here, sir! This is Dick Gumshoe, a detective with the local precinct. He's the one usually assigned to my cases. How was the president, detective? We still don't know, Mr. Edgeworth. The medics just boarded the plane a few minutes ago. I see. I hope he's alright. Then I suppose you'd better show me the scene of the crime instead. Right away, sir! Hey! I said hey! Yeah, you, Ruffles! Who's that? You're the prosecutor in charge of this here case, ain't ya? Want to give me your first impressions? Anything strike you all as odd? No comment. Detective Gumshoe, with me. Come on now, Mr. Prosecutor, don't be like that! Mr. Edgeworth, wait for me! Now, detective, I'll need the facts of the case in as much detail as you can give me. Well, the scene was right here at Gourd Lake, as you already know. A bunch of people were gathered to welcome the President of Zheng Fa. Dijon Wang. Yes, I read about his visit. It's been all over the news for days now. Newspaper clipping data has been jotted down to my organizer. It was raining until just before he landed. Luckily it let up and he went on stage as planned. And then, smack dab in the middle of his speech, bang! A gun goes off and everybody runs for cover. Terrified for their lives. Apparently. Apparently. Truth is I only just showed up myself, but I don't know a whole lot more than you do, sir. You were summoned on short notice as well. Sure was. Right in the middle of my day off. I was at the office taking advantage of the peace and quiet to prepare for my next case. And then the boss himself calls you to the scene. Never a dull moment, Mr. Edgeworth. The boss? Yeah, Chief Prosecutor was right here in the park. Saw the whole thing. First chance he got, he yelled at the top of his lungs. Get me Edgeworth right away. He's the only man for the job. Something like that. I see. Oh, they cordoned the perimeter of the park off as soon as it happened, you'll be happy to know. So our would-be assassin is still here somewhere. Good. Now all you gotta do is find him in the middle of that crowd before they strike again. You're right. We don't know what else our culprit might be planning. These people are in danger. We don't have a moment to lose. Let's begin with the basics. And search every inch of the crime scene for clues, no matter how insignificant they may seem. Precisely. The president was shot at, which means a gun was involved. That's our first clue. Security was tight for President Wang's speech, but he was still shot at somehow. Alright, duly noted. Detective Gumshoe. How exactly was the security detail surrounding the president's speech organized? Well, sir, officers were mainly focused on securing the perimeter of the park. The president's people took charge of the rest. He has his own team of bodyguards. See those guys over there? Maybe we should ask them a few questions. The twins? If I want to talk with them, I'll need to walk over and press X. Yes, I need to do that in real life. Sir, the president's bodyguards are over there. Ah, so they are. I should walk up to the bodyguards and press X to talk to them. I wanted to speak to you. I want to take a speech. Sir, okay, Gumshoe, I get it. Like, aren't I your boss? Look, I'm allowed to investigate the crime scene. Can I help you? You're one of the president's bodyguards, correct? Could you tell me how his security detail was arranged during the speech? 2 of our senior operatives were attached to the president. The rest secured the stage. This isn't our first rodeo. Anything suspicious in the crowd, we would have spotted right away. I see. So the president's security was tightly orchestrated for the duration of his speech. Let's investigate further. We should speak with other witnesses and continue to look over the crime scene. We can't afford to leave any stone unturned. Huh? So that's how you will go about it, huh? Sure as something seeing the pros of work. Care to share a little about what happens to that information once you got a hold of it? Bystanders. This one seems persistent, but I can't afford to get distracted. Hey, Ruffles! I asked you a question, dang it! What happens next? Well, we put all the information together and try to find connections, right, sir? Detective! Oh, don't be so hard on the poor guy. So, connections, you say? What next? Well, I guess you say we connect the dots. Connect one piece of information to another. It's Mr. Edgeworth's forte. He's a logic master. I can view what information I have with L1 and then connect them with triangle. I should try it now. Just a quick press of L1 and we'll be off down the path of logic. So, connecting, the president was shot at, security was tight, but he was still shot at somehow. But they were on watch for anything, so supposedly they must have seen something. Let's try and connect them together. They obviously weren't very attentive. Despite the president's tight security, the perpetrators still managed to carry out their attack. Completely undetected by a contingent of highly trained bodyguards, no less. No mean feat. This would have taken some serious planning. In other words, the assassination attempt was almost certainly premeditated. Well, that's a good thing they get out of it. That's the stuff, Mr. Edgeworth. The old logic never fails, huh? Indeed. All we need to do is find the right clues and make the right connections between them. Make the wrong connections, however, and we'll only wind up further from the truth. Which means I must make well-reasoned connections if I intend to draw logical conclusions. So the investigation truly begins.
Let's get this investigation started. Time to examine anything that looks suspicious.
To examine things, I simply need to walk up to them and press X. And if I wish to speak with a detective, I should use triangle. Alright, well, I'm gonna look around at some stuff here.
No! I was surprised as you, sir. There's no mistaking it. It's the Steel Samurai.
Why? The Steel Samurai, worthy of Neo-Oldie Tokyo. It's a popular TV show. Old, young, it doesn't matter. It truly has something for everyone.
Beats me while they had a Steel Samurai balloon at a welcome party for a foreign president.
It is a little odd, although now that I think about it, what better hero to represent our nation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. I mean, that obviously catches the attention, but I mean, it itself catches my attention too. It's the flag of Zheng Fa. The key motif is a blazing red phoenix. Wait, what's this?
Something the matter, sir?
You don't see it, detective. There's something unusual about this flag. Compared with the one on the other side of the stage, if you will.
Oh, that's a beauty right there. Just look at it flapping in the wind. It's immaculate.
Exactly. Which is how a flag should look. And yet here we see quite a different picture. One thing in particular stands out, don't you think?
Right, of course. Is it, I give up. Come on, spill the beans.
You can lead a horse to water. I'll just have to move the cursor to the problematic spot and highlight the difference with triangle.
Take that!
Look closely. Do you see the hole?
Whoa, look at that! You're right, sir.
And note the burn marks around the edges. That's a bullet hole. There's no mistaking it.
A bullet hole? So you're saying a bullet went through this flag?
It did indeed. Well, there must be more things to investigate here. Like, were you hit as well? You seem a bit deflated.
Breaks your heart, doesn't it?
It does. What villainy could have befallen him?
Witnesses said he popped right about when the gun went off.
Which would strongly suggest that a bullet struck the balloon.
Looks like we've got a case of cold-blooded samurai murder on our hands.
This is sacrilege. I won't rest until the culprit has been apprehended. Detective, we cannot let this vile assassin escape.
We won't, sir. You can count on it.
Started out floating to the right of the lakeside stage, but has since been popped. I think I've gathered enough information for the moment. Time to put the pieces together and see what we can figure out. I mean, directionality of the shot then is what you're saying. You're trying to make me... Are you telling me to put these two pieces together? I'd say putting these together makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Just saying the bullet came from that direction. There is a bullet hole in the flag, and it seems highly likely the balloon was popped by a bullet too.
Which means 2 shots were fired, right, sir?
Possibly even 3. The president was shot at as well, remember? Equally, the hole in the flag and the hole in the balloon could have been made by the same bullet. What we need to know is how many gunshots there were. Oh, I didn't investigate hardly anything! Alright, on with the Ruffles! Ruffles! You'll figure something out, huh? Care to share? Who exactly is she? And why does she keep shouting at us?
Rubbernecker, I guess. Seems pretty interested in the case.
Come on, give me something here. We do need to speak with some witnesses to find out how many gunshots there were. Fine, let's see if she can tell us anything. There you all are. Tabby Lloyd, at your service. I see what I want from you straight away. Were you recording during the event? I'm looking into the case for, well, just for me right now, but... Looking into the case. Miss Lloyd, was it? Miss Lloyd, there's something I'd like to ask you. Well, what can you tell me? Any exclusive details you want to share? How about the perp? Have they made any demands? What about them there, Ruffles? Where does the fella buy a cravat like that?
Hold it!
Will you be quiet for a moment? I'll be asking the questions here. Dang, Yeah, I thought I could get me something juicy for my piece. I need to know about the shooting. Can you tell me how many gunshots you heard? Why? I most certainly cannot. I beg your pardon. I can't just be handing out leads for free. That's my livelihood.
Ah, come on, don't hold out on us. We've got to share sometimes.
Me? Hold out on you? Well, if you all are going to be like that, I'll be moving right along. Goodbye.
Wait!
Wait for what exactly, huh? Huh? You got nothing for me? I'm gone.
We're fresh out of moves here.
Out of moves, huh? I wouldn't be so sure.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
As you know, Detective, I like to play a little chess. And what does one do in chess when an opponent adopts a defensive position? Why, the board offers any number of options, but some are more effective than others.
Sorry, sir, but this is all going way over my head.
No matter how impenetrable an opponent's defense may seem, it can always be overcome. Watch and learn, Detective, as I shatter my opponent's resolve with the power of words. When attempting to draw out an entrenched opponent, one must employ certain tactics. Let us picture the board and see if we can anticipate our adversary's next move. Now we must analyze the state of play. You all ain't getting nothing out of me, not until you give me something in return. My opponent has dug herself in deep. Her defenses won't be easily broken. But I can't afford to try patience by taking too long to plot my next move. In other words, I must be conscious not just of my strategy, but also of the passing of time. That said, I can't afford to waste words either. In fact, it could pay dividends not to. If my opponent gets too agitated... Did you fix and ask me something? Will you dang well ask it already? I may be able to gain a tactical advantage by calmly biding my time. But then when I see a crack in my opponent's armor, I pounce. I should begin by finding out what it is that she does. Alright, time to make my opening gambit. Mind chess! Okay. Well, timer, what is it that you do? Why don't you begin by telling me about what it is that you do? Okay, it doesn't roll anything except for choices. Sure, or I could totally not do that. Think I don't know when to keep my mouth shut? That's my job. Is it now? So you do something you won't or can't tell anybody about? Shut up. I ain't no lawbreaker if that's what you're insinuating. So this is agitated. That is literally the state of play that this person was in when it said about that. So I will bide my time. I'm a law-abiding everyday citizen, and you got no reason to say otherwise. Forgive me, I meant nothing by it. If it's something you can't tell me about, I imagine it must be very important work indeed. Sure, I guess. Leastways, it'll be once I bag me first scoop. Or bag me my first scoop. Not agitated, go for this. I see. It's a scoop you're after. So you're a journalist, is that correct? Ooh. Dang! Sure, I'm your friendly neighborhood reporter. The hungriest cub on the beat. That's the mystery of what she does for a living solved. Perhaps our hungry young cub has gathered information vital to the case. Let's make that our next line of inquiry. With the opening moves concluded, the mid-game approaches. What else does she have to tell us? I'll ask, were you at the scene of the crime? Because that's going to be a yes, and she probably wouldn't mind divulging that. At the time of the incident, were you present at the scene of the crime? Come on now, Ruffles. You ain't going to give little old Tabby something first? Absolutely not. And I ain't giving you nothing neither. You think I'm a sucker? Think again. Okay, agitated. I just stand there. Come on, this is my career we're talking about here. You got to give me something. Sadly, the more you know, the more you might find yourself in danger. I ain't scared. I'm a pro. Takes more than the sound of a little gunfire to faze me. You heard gunfire, did you? You may be a pro, as you put it, but I say you're still a little wet behind the ears. You say you heard gunfire, which proves you were here at the time of the crime. Therefore, you must have seen something. double dang. Fine. I was here. I saw it. Came to report on the big speech. Wound up reporting on a shooting. And you won't get no more out of me than that. I'm done with your tricks, Ruffles. If she came to report on the event, she must have made a record of some kind. A record I would very much like to get my hands on. So is it either route would have led to go there? This is quite the clue as to where to take the conversation next. Well, where's your recording then? You're a reporter, which means you must have been making a record of some kind. If you got more questions, you got to give me something first. That's the deal. I am not in the habit of making deals. Now tell me what I need to know. Sorry, Ruffles, can't help you. Time to deploy my clue. I guess that's my clue. No self-respecting reporter would leave the house without a means of putting things on the record. So tell me, Miss Lloyd, where's yours? We can literally see it. Of course I made a record. I told you I'm a pro. Dang near wore my shoes out running around on this one. Which is why I'm not about to just hand it over to the first person who asked me. I am not just anyone, young lady. I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Don't you young lady me. You ain't getting it, no matter how many times you ask. Bite time. Agitated. You understand, don't you, Ruffles? It ain't nothing personal. I understand that your job is a difficult one. You do? Well, ain't that sweet? And in such a competitive field, you must sometimes doubt that you'll ever succeed. No, I'll go plenty far. I'm sure of it. Yeah. Just as long as I got my trusty tape recorder, I'll always be ready to nab me a scoop. Play me that tape, maybe? Intriguing. A young reporter hungry for success, and so dedicated to a craft that to leave such an important event unrecorded would be unthinkable. And indeed, she did not. She committed the entire event to tape. Ah! Dang it! Yeah, this is my scoop you're messing with. My big break. Fine, sure. I recorded the whole darn thing. It's all right here. You got me, okay? Checkmate. Hey! That was different. You're someone else, Ruffles. I was trying to be all strong and silent, but you had me singing like a canary. Never mind that. Now play us the tape. This should finally tell us how many shots were fired. Fine, you can hear it, but I got conditions. You play me like a fiddle, Ruffles. Only the chief ever played me so good. So you gotta agree to be chief number 2. Be mentored to a rising star, aka me.
Chief number 2, huh? Kinda like a second parent. That's a big responsibility, sir.
And one more thing. I want exclusive reporting rights for the first 24 hours. Come on, you gotta say yes. What kind of mentor wouldn't give his star pupil the exclusive, huh?
She's a difficult woman to refuse, and I need to hear that recording. 24 hours is more than I can promise, but the story's yours until the case is solved.
And the job of chief number 2?
I think not.
You're no fun. But I guess a girl can have everything. All for the sake of the scooper. Alright, you got yourself a deal. I got exclusive access starting right this second, Ruffles.
Good. And our first order of business is to listen to that tape. Honored friends and allies, I am here today to deliver a message. The odious criminals that dogged my beloved nation are no more. And the president's speech. The president passionately addresses the assembled crowd, as if trying to shake off the reports of his declining popularity by sheer force of will.
That there's me. Can't be a little live commentary to set the scene. Oh no, you can't, can you?
Huh?
The meeting is scheduled for just after the speech, correct? He seems pretty pleased to be able to put the whole Yatagalasu situation behind him. As well he should be. This is a great day for all of us. Whose voices are these? Oh, there was these 2 old guys standing right in front of me. They were whispering away to each other the whole darn time. I know their voices from somewhere. Wait, the part where the gun goes off is right after this. The president thrusts his fist into the air as the excitement reaches fever pitch.
The battle against evil rages on. here today I make you this solemn promise. We shall crush the wicked with the righteous hammer of justice. What the? Ah! 2 shots. So, 2 shots were fired. Yep, and that tells us something. Yes, it tells us that the shot was from the left of the stage. Facing the stage, anyway. And something very important indeed. It allows us to deduce the trajectory of one of our bullets. Of the 2 shots fired, one hit the President, which means the other must have passed through both the flag and the balloon in that order. Which, as you can see, allows us to deduce the position of our shooter. Just to the left. The only possible place in which a bullet could have been fired through the flag and into the balloon is... I mean, I guess it would be... here? How exacting do I need to be? But in the bushes makes sense. Take that! Here. Yes, there's no doubt about it. This is where our shooter was standing. You sure about that, Ruffles? Watch your mouth, kid. Mr. Edgeworth's powers of deduction never fail. He takes the evidence, puts it together, uses his logic, and bam! Out comes the truth. Every time. Can't wait to hear the logic behind this one. Well, sir, how'd you do it? Sir? One moment, Yes, It's alright, Ruffles. We all make mistakes. What? That was a mistake? I picked the wrong spot. 2 bullets were fired. We know that for a fact. If we draw a straight line along the path of each bullet, our 2 lines should converge on a single point, the point where our culprit was standing. What? Through the flag and into the balloon would be... down here, yeah? Maybe, it's saying it's from the crowd. I'm like, well, the guy's hiding in the bushes, because that makes more sense, but I guess it would be here. Take that! Sorry, it's still pretty much the same area. Drawing a line between the flag and the balloon gives us the trajectory of one of our bullets. And places our shooter on the left-hand side of the spectator area. Sorry for me thinking that it's never a good idea for the shooter to be standing in a crowd in the middle of the open. Someone might see you shooting the gun. Also, like, people would be going deaf and stuff if you shoot it right next to the head, basically. Bullet trajectory data jotted down in my organizer. In fact, the culprit would be, if it was there, the culprit would be instantly found. You're a genius, Mr. Edgeworth, after failing the first time. Detective Gumshoe, I'll need to examine the left side of the spectator area. Roger that, sir. So you need me to clear all those people out of the way, I guess? I do. And what evidence remains to be found may already be deteriorating. So I'll need you to be quick about it. Yes, sir. Chief, hey, I'm talking to you, Chief. I suppose you mean me, Miss Lloyd. I surely do. You gotta let me help out. This stuff's my forte. I'm the best crowd herder you ever did see. I'll prod, pummel, and push him wherever you like. A very kind offer. But I think a less hands-on approach might be preferable. You're still technically a suspect. Also, about this chief business. I am nobody's chief. Whatever you say, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Your wish is my command. I somehow doubt that. Here you go, sir. It's all ready for you. Miss Lloyd here cleared everybody out just like that. You should have seen it. Except oh, they're just to the left there. I was about to say we need... Why are you there? Mr. Top Left. Oh, you already seen nothing. The chief, my other chief that is, she sends them running twice as quick. She sounds like quite a formidable character. Perhaps I should go easier on the poor girl. Thank you, but you really shouldn't have. All that running around. Your clothes are covered in mud. Allow me to pay for the cleaning. It's the least I can do. Huh? You mean my jacket? Oh, don't you be worrying your pretty little head about that. It's reversible. All you got to do is switch it around and alakazam. No more dirt. On the outside, perhaps, but you still have something of a problem with the inside. We're ready to get back to the investigation whenever you are, sir. The crowd has trampled the entire area. We'll be lucky to find any traces of our shooter at all. Bullet casings? I mean, the bin's obviously super suspicious, but...
Why are you here? Why are you here? Well, this is quite the situation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Who is he again? It's Payne, Mr. Edgeworth. Winston Payne. We work together at the prosecutor's office. He's a prosecutor? What brings you here today, Mr. Payne? What indeed? Why, only the invitation of the chief prosecutor himself. His voice. I recognize it from the tape recording. Oh, really? Was he one of the men who was standing in front of Miss Lloyd? And where's the chief prosecutor? He had to leave, I'm afraid. He's a busy man. They let him, and only him, out through the cordon. So he had me summoned on short notice, and then left before I even showed up. Rude. Well, this is quite the situation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh my god, you're repeating yourself. Oh, I thought I'd get more information. Sadly, I did not indeed, so let's skip forward. No information from you today, Mr. Payne. That was your entire part of this? Well, probably there's going to be a lot more to it. This wooden sign looks almost brand new. I imagine it was placed here recently. What's it say? 50 yards to the Gordy Museum? 70 yards to the, never mind. What's the matter, detective? Just read it, will you? 70 yards to the boathouse. It feels like a million years since that whole sorry affair unfolded. Fond memories, detective. Yeah. Fond memories, sir. Fond. Ooh, I can ask you some stuff. I can even present some stuff to you. Alright, let's leave that and examine a little bit more. Like, this flag on the ground is not a thing. The drink on the ground. There's a camera. You're with one of the news channels. Yep. Can I help you? You must have footage of the event. Do you mind if I take a look? I wish I could help you, but that might be a little tricky. And what is that, pal? You got a problem with doing your civic duty or something? No, it's just that my camera was knocked over in all the panic, and now I can't get it to work. That footage would have helped immensely. Just our luck. Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! What the? You look like you need a little help, Mr. Edgeworth. I know that voice. It's Kay! Oh my goodness. Right, talking to the camera, got that though. I didn't even look at the bin yet. And already, our assistant, you could say, has appeared on the scene to set the scene. For that is our first episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations 2 complete. Because I can, fortunately, go and save from this point as we can go. I'm going to turn off the autosave that's been running down the bottom left as well. So yes, we will be running this episodically every day until its completion. I quite like it in the fancy new style. Not that I am afraid of pixel art in any sense. After all, we played a lot of the original Ace Attorney games. But it's nice having this dynamic look to come. So with Kay here now on top of the TV truck, we find out what she's here for, what she could tell us next time. I'll see you then for more. Until then, I say, bye-bye.